Guest Waffles, D2D Soul. All you gotta do is go to my Twitch, Consumer Break Twitch, on another tab, and then you'll hear us. All right.
Got it.
Everyone else, we got 31 people in the Twitch. That's great. And yeah, I have you in voice in Discord call, so that's awesome. And we're looking at After Effects, which is a program I use for all my animations, so I know how to use it. That's great. And you can see here we got the logo that's changing colors. So tell us about a little bit about, well, everything, just the whole thing. Spectral art. What is it? What are we looking at?
So basically what we're doing inside After Effects, we took your high res logo and just kind of dropped it on a sorry, I was hearing feedback. I had to lower it. Okay. So we took your logo and we're using a, a an adjustment layer to make things change color. So basically adjustment layers, whatever you do to an adjustment layer, things underneath it will like inherit its properties.
Mm-hmm.
So we've put on here hue and saturation. So if you look inside all of your stuff in here, inside color correction, all these things, all we're really using is hue and saturation. So that'll pop open. Go over here on frame 1. Now, the secret to making these flow nice is 8 seconds. 8-second loops for the color to have time to change. If you do it too many seconds or too little, it goes either too fast or too slow. So 8 seconds seems to be that perfect loop amount where it doesn't jog you. So we create a keyframe right here on the first frame, go all the way to the end, scrub it all the way down, go to our master hue, and I like -2. That'll just cycle it backwards. I like the colors cycling backwards. Go all the way back to frame 1, change that to 0. So that just set your parameters. Start at 0, end at 2. And then so when we hit spacebar, that's what that adjustment layer will do to anything that we put underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
So we can go here and, we've got the pinwheel already. So
giving us some emojis. Yeah, so basically, just to reiterate what you just said, but you have layers for each of the things that are in there, each of the elements. So you see down there, he's got 3 layers on there. So the NFTOPIA transparent, what he's showing down there, that's the actual logo image. And then he's got an adjustment layer at the top, and you can put effect on it, which will affect everything below that layer. That's how that works. And then he put the effect of hue on there, color correction hue, and then you can change the master hue to change the color of the thing. And then the way that it's changing, like from one to like an animated thing, it's called keyframes. You basically at the start of his video there, he has it set on one color setting, and then on the other side, on the end of the video, he sets it to another setting, and then what it does, it transitions from one to the next. So it's going to change the hue just in a nice smooth fashion, going from one setting to the other setting. And so in doing so, you see exactly what you see. It's changing the color, like it's fading from one color to the next as you do it, and then you're looping that.
So now we're going to have a little bit more fun.
Okay.
Right? And we're going to take something like this. Pinwheel, rainbow pinwheel. I added a blur to it just to stop it from having hard lines, but that's a matter of preference. So now we take this pinwheel and it's there, right? It's there in all its glory, but it has a layer effect on it. So we go to our blending modes and you just want to overlay that. So basically, if there's no color information, it'll remain that way. But if there is color information, it'll overlay this pinwheel over top of whatever's underneath it. So we're using this here as an overlay. So it's basically taking that color pinwheel, putting it on top, and now not doing anything else, just using the same adjustment layer. It gives you that crazy effect of the pinwheel, now also changing color.
Wow.
And that's what gives you infinite amounts of cool things to do with spectral art, because you can just get crazy with color and it'll dance.
Yeah, you make colors dance. That's right. Well, that's cool. So what you had the pinwheel, and then what'd you do? You right clicked. How did you do that?
So it's very similar to Photoshop. Right click the layer you want and you go into the blending mode. Just like Photoshop has their layer styles, we do too. And it's the same thing,
And
overlay.
then
Now you
overlay.
can do
Okay.
different ones. Like let's see what difference does. Okay, so that's what that
Oh,
one does.
see, I'm self-taught, and I've just been like, whenever I want to do something, I'll try to learn it. But like, without taking classes, there's little hidden things like this that I've never used. I've never used the overlay thing. So that's really neat how that works. Look at it's beautiful, really.
Yeah, now it'll, here you go. It's like Twilight Zone. But see, and that's what makes spectral art such a big deal. Jumbie's more of an inventor too, as much of an artist, because here he is making all this kind of color changing art, but prints don't change color. So he had to invent a frame that does this effect for you so that you can make stuff and then put it on a frame, hang it on your wall, and it'll still do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where you really elevate it. You make it next level. Because right now it's all digital. We're playing with colors, but he creates these effects on a physical art by using light. So they print these beautiful arts that are really trippy and full of colors, and then they'll put this in a frame, a picture frame, a special one, and then there's a lighting panel behind it that will do the same kind of effect as this, but it uses the light. So the light is change the color of the light is changing behind the art, and then that shows through the art and makes it all trippy and changing colors when it's a physical art. And that's crazy. It looks really crazy. Look at this thing. This is the what's being auctioned right now uh, as a one of one. Thank you for the gift to NFTOPIA to auction it off. Look at that, how beautiful that is. We're using the same kind of technique. So just because the original art itself had all those different colors in it, blended inside of it, now when you change the hue of it, it's changing all of those colors at one time. And that's what's doing that effect that you're seeing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. It's fun, playing with these blending modes for this is definitely a lot of fun. Have have at it with that because it's pretty easy.
Yeah, and when you said that, like to use the hue, I was like, yeah, and that's when I did that for our Nato chair badge. When the badge that I'm inside, so it's changing colors by just using this effect in After Effects.
Yeah, and you can use other styles of things. Like we have a pinwheel, we have like this thing, you know, something like that, right? So we'll just make this fit and then, do the same thing. Here we're gonna put an overlay on it. And now we have both of those effects going at the same time and it does something different.
It does something
Here's
different. Yeah, you're
pick
compounding effects
Yeah,
and
exactly.
layers.
Pick how many of these color effects you want to start layering together, find what moves you, and here you go. Now it's similar but different.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the way so you're just playing around when you decide on what to like finish and release. You're just playing around with things and until you like it.
Well, I like to kind of conceptualize how I want the piece to move and what kind of lighting effects I would use to
Mm-hmm.
work with the way I'm going to lay out the color. That way I can direct the motion into the piece and help it move the atmosphere and
Yeah,
stir the motion of your eye through the picture. So
yeah. So
I've kind of
there's a lot of thought behind it.
pre-chosen some of it. Yeah, I've pre-chosen some of the like effects that I think will be really fun to work with, and then that's what we do with our portals as we try to create as many different options as possible and make it a frame that can upgrade and continue to grow and evolve.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. And yeah, that's how he's able. that's how he's making them dance per se. It's actually just changing the colors, but because Jumbie makes his art in such a way that the effects put on it makes it look like it's moving, but it's changing the color of it.
The best part is the way you set up the picture stays perfectly still. You are physically moving with the light and seeing the art as it's designed to unveil itself, which is what's really fun about spectral art, because it's a new way of viewing artwork.
Yeah. Yeah, that is awesome. And our last collab AIM months ago, you were showing us around in the mothership, which was awesome.
Oh yeah.
They have a studio over in Las Vegas. Anybody that ever makes it to Vegas, holla at Jumbie Art. Check out their studio, and they got art all over the walls and tapestries. And I like how it's a tapestry, literally like a hung tapestry on a wall, but then they project light onto it that's changing, and then it makes it look like the tapestry's moving all over, and it's real trippy, like you're on drugs. But it's the light. It's just lighting that's doing it.
The art's on drugs for you.
It's on drugs for you, so you don't have to do it. That's right. It looks really, really sweet.
Thank you.
Any questions about anything? You can also ask away.
Yeah, I can't see the chat, but if you just like repeat the question, we got it.
Yeah, of course. Sweet. Do you want to show other arts and stuff that you've done? Or whatever you want. More effects.
We got all sorts of little effects in here. Like we're just seeing.
Why don't you clear one off and hit him with a camo?
Okay. We'll go back. Camo is a good one. I got to pull that in. I didn't pull it in. Oh, the fusion one makes the brain go.
Fusion one will be fun too.
Camo should be
or a wide.
What's up, Raiders? We got a raid from Mark Lar. What's up, y'all? Hope the poker game turned out fun. Whoever ended up winning. And now we're over here checking out Spectral art with Jumbie art. Jumbie and Terramike are on the voice with me here.
All right, so basically this is like what we call camo or matrix. We're gonna overlay this one. See, it gives
render
total different effect. Actually, we can make it go slower too, because I think our adjustment layer is going a little quick.
Yeah, and you sit there right there in the adjustment, and you're choosing like how far it's going. So when he's saying it's changing fast, that's because the difference between those two keyframes was a big difference. See, with the degree you see in the master hue, it had like the degrees there. So to make the colors change slower, you just need to make their keyframe to where the difference isn't as far apart, basically.
All right, there we go. Now I hit you with a little color wobble here.
Look at what they're doing to our logo over here. Isn't that beautiful? That looks
activated,
awesome.
Baby. You've been spectrally activated.
Yeah.
And then you can make it go womp. Like if you were to take this and put it on like 11, it would go into like super high speed mode.
Oh, it goes higher than that.
Wait, something's not.
Oh, is it still rendering? Everyone else's goes to 10.
Ours goes to 11.
Goes to 11. So, once it renders itself, it'll smooth out.
That's it. Yeah, that's how fast it goes at 11. So like that's pretty jogging. and slow it down. Nice and smooth. This is where we think the color healing comes into effect. It's like having nice, slow, changing light is really peaceful for the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Yeah, it looks
What
awesome.
else? We've got, you make it go on with the cold fusion.
Give them a white.
That's pretty. Colorful. I guess the colorblind can't appreciate this as well, huh?
No, definitely not.
Actually, I've been told that I've helped people see more color than they've seen before
Oh,
because
it's
of
so
the amount of
beautiful.
color.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
there's so much in there. Yeah, because colorblind
right.
is not black and white. It's like some colors
Yeah.
are just different.
Well,
Or
and because there's motion, they're going to see ranges move where
yeah,
they didn't see
exactly.
a range have an edge before. Suddenly, it's in flux,
Yeah, that
so
makes
they get
sense. That
more
makes
definition.
so yeah. So like there's different shades that a lot of the colors will just appear very similar to each other or very like the same as each other. Not that they're black and white, but it's like different shades just look the same to colorblind. But then if he's doing this and he's adding this motion to it via the colors, but they're able to see it through the motion. That's so cool. And here,
Force feed you color, man. We'll stuff it down your stem somewhere.
and look here, they that pattern they just had is overlaid into it now, and that really makes it look different, huh? Now all the colors are like moving around that pattern. That's awesome.
We call that one is cold fusion.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing what other people's art can do. Right? Like this is yours. This is your art going hard in the paint. We're just, kicking the color theory proper in the face for you. So,
Yeah.
you know, you call Dr. Color, I'll fix you up whenever you need it. But I'm excited to see where we go from here. I'm expecting we'll have some kind of like amazing quantum growth rate from people figuring out that this is a thing that can be integrated into the way they present their artwork.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't necessarily have to change the way you make what you make, but once you do it and you see how it reacts, you might find yourself leaning in different directions for the next time you do something.
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm excited to see where it goes from here.
yeah. Especially artists that have like a similar style or something, or like the just colorful, really colorful, vivid artwork. Like, yeah, they could really do
Well,
a lot
even
with it.
different styles, man. Like
Yeah,
I'm
different
looking to
styles.
try and like activate a few new formats that don't necessarily have to start from digital, but still can integrate and mix media together. Still work with the situation and let the light pass through the colors that are being presented. And we're working to keep innovating this art form so that we can bring as many cool traditional techniques into play as possible. We might have to augment and or create or invent some new materials or hybrid some things together to make them work the best way possible. But I feel like this is just a fun new frontier to go experiment with art supplies.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome.
I
What?
can't wait till we're painting with translucent paints that let the light pass through, layering thick textures on top of a clear film that has been printed with a base layer of art that you're then embellishing and coming to life with actual paint strokes and brushes. It's going to be super fun. We're just tipping the very, very start of all of this preparation we've been cooking up for you guys, and we can't wait to share it. We're really excited to be sharing it here
Yeah.
with you, man. We love you guys.
Well, wow. Looking forward to that. Anything more that you guys create, an invent. Yeah, that's awesome. And you're being educational about it. Clearly, right now, that's what this was meant to be. But in real life too, like you're trying to show others that you can do this to your art.
Yeah.
And you're using and you can activate it for them. You're using the term activate, which is really cool. I think it's a cool word to use for that. We're going to activate this art.
Right? feels fitting.
It's very fitting. Yeah.
Taking you from static to motion. It's like, let's turn it on, man.
Turn it on. We're elevating it. Yeah.
Yeah. Here, we'll throw another one in there since you guys are having fun with this.
Diamonds is fun.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend. Why wouldn't we put diamonds in the mix?
Oh, we got a diamond pattern.
We got diamonds coming. This is just for a delightful overlay wash. Again, you might want to squish it down a little more. It'll get more definition since it's a
So when you
thin.
use overlay, it's taking the pattern, the one you're clicking, and it's putting it onto the other
It's
layer.
like ghosting it over top of what's already underneath it.
And the fact that the logo is a transparent one, that's why it's only showing on the actual logo and not behind it.
Actually, no.
Yeah, that's not
that. If there were transparent, you gave me the transparent one. I had to bring it into Photoshop and put a black background and make it a PNG with a black background, because if it is transparent, it'll just overlay over top of the transparency as well.
Yeah, and it'll read almost as white or as like checkers that are showing you there's nothing there. And then you can see everything in the like wings of the theater. You want to keep it within the curtain.
I can show you that here. It works. You just have to do it backwards. Like I did one with the original transparent, but you have to do the blending modes differently, and it's a little more advanced. That's why I just brought it in, gave it a black background as a JPEG, and called it a day. It was easy.
But it's black background, and you're over. Like, why wouldn't it overlay on the black too?
Because the black absorbs all color.
So when you're overlaying the layer, it's color based. It's not literally overlaying.
Yeah, we're basically doing color multiplication here.
Interesting. Okay, I've never done the overlay part, but I feel like I could use it in different ways. So this is neat.
Oh, it's super fun. Get in there and dig out your layer effects, man. It's like the most fun ever.
Or even just aside from making it spectral and color changing, but just using the overlay to bring
anything. Layer effects are fun. They're there.
To bring a pattern into an object or something. Yeah, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Let's make the diamonds go backwards.
Rendering in.
See, that's the same pattern, just with different parameters for the color. It completely changes how it flows.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Look, you can see the diamond pattern in there.
Right.
Wow.
See how changing the direction the color moves through time alters the flow of how you perceive the art that's been pre-established.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the way that T is moving in comparison to the way it was moving before. Right? Like, it's fantastically different in its uniqueness, and it just makes so many variant options come alive. I mean, in the world of visual spectrum, we as humans see less than 1% of the spectrum of all of light. And so I feel like we're tapping into some mantis shrimp moments where we're getting like extra color motion. It might be happening all around us anyway if we just could perceive it as such. But with this light activation, suddenly you're able to step out of the reality that you know as reflected reality and step into a spectral motion reality, which is a very interesting environment to exist in.
Yeah, well said. And I've
learned my ecosystem.
I've learned a little bit here too. Just the fact that because I was trying the hue thing a while back, and that's great, changing the color of something. But as you saw here, just all they did was overlay different patterns in, and then change the direction of the color and stuff, and you're suddenly doing so much more. And then you can compound it like you're doing. So what you see here is like so much different and crazier and cooler looking than just changing the color of our own logo. when you see the actual diamonds and the
compounding the diamonds.
Here's a bunch of them all at the same time. Let's see what happens.
That's awesome.
Let's see what's gonna happen here. Chewing on it.
It's a color pile.
And let it flow.
Wow. What do y'all think? Isn't that cool looking? Their activated NFTOPIA logo.
You're making legitimate animations out of 2D artwork through color changing, shift over time. That's the idea of spectral art. This is a way to present it, you know?
Yeah. And at least in this case, with different types of patterns is what's really doing it too. Like a
right. Well, and it works with all color theory. So it's like there's really no wrong way to go. There are more right ways to go. And the more particular you are about how you want your picture to unveil itself, the more and more, obsessive you can become with it. But at the end of the day, there's really no wrong answer. And it's just a great new frontier to try your art out on. Why not?
That's right. Yeah.
It also works really great with tie-dye. And I'm sure Carly knows that. But tie-dye makes for a really great pattern. If you're looking for cool color patterns, tie-dye is a really cool way to get some really organic movements out of color and then transfer them digitally and make some really dope effects.
I bet, I'm sure. Because tie-dye already has all the colors like mixed in together like that, flowing together.
I'm eager to see some watercolor people come out of the woodwork and bring some of the cool gradients that they can do into play, because all kinds of color reacts differently. So like once you kind of crack yourself through the bottleneck of how this interacts with color, it's really quite fun to just get in and slosh around in there and make some art. It's like a whole new way of throwing color around.
Beautiful. Trippy.
They said, what was it? They told me when I was taking classes, they said as an artist, if you can keep the attention of the viewer for more than 15 seconds, that you have succeeded as an artist. I was like, well, shit. We got people coming to camp out for hours at our booth on their way to their favorite concert. Like, sorry, we distracting people that want to bring their lunch and picnic and stuff. So it's like, it's that likable because we feel very distinctly there's a biological response that is like activating inside of everyone. We're looking to get some access to some new high-tech medical equipment that allow you to like measure the different wave responses within your brain as you're being shown this kind of stuff, and looking forward to finding our way into that world as well. But we think it's having a positive effect because it's so enjoyable, it's so likable. It's one of those things like when you eat nutrients, your body feels happy about it, and you're like, oh, my body's responding to this. It's like I have that 1,000% when I look at this kind of stuff. And I'm sure that there's something about not just the light, but the interaction of light and art, something that is recognizable, right? Something your brain is cognitively, finding some sort of recognition with, and formulating a thought or a story or decoding or trying to like digest, right? I feel like having it in flux allows your brain to be more active. And so if we can get to the point where we can prove that this way of viewing art is good for you because your brain is more stimulated, then we're really on the forefront of some really cool color therapy and bringing some healing vibes to the world through color.
Yeah, wow, well said again. This is so cool. And I agree, yeah. I mean, it is like therapy. Like you're entranced by how pretty it is.
Color therapy.
Yeah, yeah. It's like looking like if I like nature photos, you know, it's like that. It's like just
Right.
the beauty of nature is like therapy. This is kind of similar, same kind of vibe.
It's also like watching a fish tank.
Right.
It's
It's
very
like
like
mood blinked.
yeah.
Entrancing. Yeah.
That's why we don't like to strobe too much because I don't want to have an epileptic like response to too much light digestion when I could very enjoyably have it massage its way down my eyeball. Would way rather have that. But there's a time and a place. Like when we're doing a show or a concert, and we want it to like go crazy and wild with the music, and we turn it up, and you know we can make it go to 11. We can shit. We can go higher than that. But time and place for everything.
Yeah.
I think the smooth fade is very important. They've mentioned before in what do you call it? Traffic control law. Ooh, wow, great sunset going on outside right now. Let's go Vegas. The traffic control laws say that you're not allowed to do anything that really blinks or strobes because it's too distracting. Right? So that you want something smoother if it's going to be seen in like large mass consumption. So far has been kind of like the rule of thumb, especially out in public. And then we're here with the Madison Square Garden sphere, and they're doing all kinds of super fun stuff. Here's our dead mouse piece we were making for a little more heightened activation.
Yeah, this looks sweet. Dead mouse. I got a couple comments here. Captain Dejan, how's the festivities going? Oh, they're going nice. Look at it. Look at this beautiful artwork we're looking at. We have a few hours left. Come on over. Online In says, this making me wish I had an Adobe package. I hear you, buddy. It costs $30 a month to have After Effects, and I pay it because that's what I use for my art.
Dear Adobe, you want to throw a sponsorship our way?
Yeah, right, right.
We flex on your product, pretty fun. I was dropping some pieces that were over 1,500 layers in Photoshop.
Whoa!
Whoa!
That's a lot of layers right there, let me tell you.
Yeah, it's pretty over the top. I just did one that was like 1053. 1,053 layers, I think it was, for the new Cave of Wonders piece we did. I just did an Aladdin piece that's really, really super fun. And yeah, it took a fair bit to get it to where I wanted it. And yeah, it was a good run, but we're breaching over 1,000 layers pretty consistent.
Look at that! Look at that art! Isn't that crazy?
I need to see the rest of it.
Look at that! So when you have such detailed, colored art, the way that he does, which just creating that to begin with is incredible. Then they activate it like what you're seeing here, and it's like in a very psychedelic type of way, changing the colors and making it dance in front of you. And using their light frames that they have, that can be a physical print that does the same thing, which is way more trippy, I'd say, to see it as a physical big art print or a tapestry that you activate it with light, the color changing
definitely
light.
Experiential. It's an experiential art form. The optical illusion that you get in person in the presence of the light is a lot more impactful than it being delivered through a screen. But we can, still make it do the trick.
Yeah, I'm sure. And even like seeing
light physics
on the camera, like you showing with the camera, oh, that's great. We got an idea of it. But seeing it in real life, I'm sure it would be way more.
Oh,
that'd be
yeah.
crazy.
There's a couple of candy coated layers you can't quite like touch with your eyeball through the screen that you can when you're like right there. That just can't really be replaced.
Mic check.
Yeah, we hear you. Yeah, we hear you. They had sorry, Jumbie. They had they couldn't get in here, so we're talking on Discord, and my Twitch is running. That's why it's quiet in here. But our event will be on the other side of there, and we're gonna get there here in 5 minutes. So, but welcome, Drafter.
Okay. Yeah, skins look good. A lot of upgrades and these skins here look great.
Yeah, for sure. It's a
Oh
different
wow, that
place.
doesn't
It's
good on
not.
there.
Yeah, it's not inverse. So yeah. So back to, and I'm on Twitch Consumer Break Twitch, and I'm talking to Jumbie through Discord. Uh, yeah, this is awesome. We're closing in on our event here, but anyone has questions? Get anybody has questions about anything? Throw them at the crew here, and you can also go to their Discord and everything. Yeah, show some of your other. We got a couple minutes here, but look at that ticket machine. Wow, and you got your melty face smileys. That's what that thing is there, and we actually got prizes too for that. Get yourself a sticker pack.
We sent one of the legendary winning tickets for this, and we just put the golden ticket blend up today to get the whole set of Spectral legendaries. But we sent the swag account a golden or a legendary ticket to give away.
Yeah, thank you very much for that type of swag. It's just awesome. The person that wins those and gets that landed in their wallet, they're gonna be happy with it. Beautiful. And you guys just came back from you guys show art and stuff in different places. You came back from Miami, right?
Oh, we were in Key West.
Key West?
Yeah, we went all the way down to Key West. They were having an event called Fantasy Fest, and we got to do some art showing and some gallery hopping and interacting with some really cool exotic artists, several from Miami, several international artists that were really fun to meet and mingle with, and spreading the word about spectral art. And they were blown away the way everybody else seems to be blown away. So we're really glad to be bringing this to everyone, and can't wait to keep showing it around.
Absolutely, keep going. Again, the original artwork too, before you activate, is also extremely talented and just wow.
Yeah, there it is without color.
And I'm sure it takes but exactly that. It's so crazy good art, and it probably takes you a long time to do something like that, huh?
Yeah, it takes a while, but I stay pretty vigilant in it.
Yeah, so he's hand drawing these things. These are actual original art.
It's a mixed media. There's a collage component going into it. There's a hand drawn element. There's a layer effect element. There's a layer effect combo to make different layer effects work because they were combined in a certain order. There's all kinds of fun stuff going into it.
Yeah. Well, that's amazing, and clearly you got a studio, so you're making the living off it, and that's awesome. And then you put in the activation, the spectral stuff on top of that to make that your thing, your unique thing. It's just awesome.
Thank you. Glad you guys enjoy. We love sharing it. Oh, we love sharing it until it decides to disappear. Not sure. Just like that. Easy come, easy go. Into the ether. And she's back.
All right. Well, it's about time to switch. Thank you guys for showing some of this. I as somebody who uses After Effects, I learned a little bit here, and I'm gonna try to use some of it in the future. It's really, really awesome.
Well, hopefully this is on some sort of a recorded situation where we can replay it and people can hear all about the good stuff. And
yeah, I'm live on the Twitch.
Got it open,
So we got it on the Twitch, and I'll be uploading to YouTube different events, all the events that were done.
Definitely be posting them forward from our end as well.
Cool. And we'll definitely be seeing you again. Obviously, we'll see you again. But thanks, thanks for doing this.
January.
Keep up, at NFTOPIA for sure. And they're in the wax space, y'all. They got those wax NFTs. So get into if you're not already, get into their community and check out all the cool stuff that they got. We have swag from them. I still have melty face packs I've been giving away on my streams. So it's all awesome. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Much love.